What do you do if you're interested in a man and he's not happy about your job or your career? And really, he would kind of prefer that you don't do it anymore. I'm going to answer that question this week. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Shanna Schutte, author, speaker, and dating and relationship coach for Single Over 30, and I help Single Over 30 women learn how to attract a trustworthy, marriage-minded man. Okay, so you're interested in a guy, he's interested in you, but he really isn't happy about your job, and he's saying, you know what, I just don't really like that you're doing that. I don't want you to do it anymore. So what do you do about it if you really like him, but you don't want to displease him, right? But you have this conflict. So first of all, you want to look at the fact, how do you feel about your job or your career? So if you feel like it's something that you are really called to do, that it's where you belong, you don't want to give it up for a guy. For example, there was a man that I was interested in years ago before I got married, but he didn't like my career. At the time I was doing some traveling and I was speaking quite a bit, and he didn't like the idea that I was going to be around a lot of other people and conversing with lots of different people in a public format. That made him feel threatened, right? So what was I to do? I knew at the time that that's what I was called to do. I knew that this is where my gifts were and that I should be using them, right? So I could not have given that up, because if I had done that, what it would have done would have gone against my core conviction about who I was. And you never ever want to have to change a core thing about who you are for a man. I'm not talking about serving a guy. I'm not talking about being selfless and serving him. But if a guy is saying, you know what, hey, I don't like this about you, or I have to change your personality, I want you to stop, pursuing your calling or whatever, that's a red flag. Because a man who really loves you and cares about you, he will want you to become everything that you are called to be. He will want you to be the best version that you can of yourself. And the same would be of you, true of you, right? If you met a man and you knew that he had a special calling on his life, you would want to support him in that. A sign of loving someone is wanting them to be the best version of themselves and use their gifts. So you want to look at his motives. Where is this coming from? If he's saying, I don't want you to do this anymore, as was in the case with the guy I just mentioned that I was interested in, it was coming from a place of insecurity and jealousy. And I could not have given my calling up because of his insecurities. Now, this is different than if you're in a relationship with someone, let's say you're even married, and it's not serving the relationship well, right? Let's say you're traveling all the time and now your commitment is to your spouse. And what do you do about that? How do you reconcile that so that you can still serve your mate, right? You want to be there for them as they are the most important person in your life then. So I'm not talking about not serving the relationship. I'm talking about not becoming someone you are not for a man because of his insecurity. Now, with that, I want to say something and give a little caveat here. Men are created, most of them have a deep desire to provide, to care for, to look out for a woman, right? Lots of guys do anyway. And you want to give a man a safe place where he can feel like he's succeeding with you. Let's say that you're in charge at work. Let's say you're a boss or you own a company. Let's say you've been successful in your life. And you want to make sure that outside of that space that you give a man the opportunity to feel as if he's succeeding with you. So let's say you're a boss at work. You want to make sure that you give him a space so that he can provide for you and care for you and protect you. And you want to talk to him about these things and to talk to him about how he feels about it. You want him to know that he can succeed with you when you're succeeding someplace else. He wants to feel needed. It's the same way with a woman. Women, lots of times we want to feel as if a guy will receive our love and our care and our compassion, because lots of times women, we're more nurturing. What if a man said, I'm sorry, I don't want that from you? It would make us feel bad because we want to give that to a man in the same way, because we're created that way. In the same way, men often want to care for women and provide for women. So if a man is that way, you want to give him a space so that he can do that. And oftentimes in relationship, that comes by acknowledging, hey, I know this is what you need, and talking about what does that look like in your relationship so that you can make him feel good about who he is. It's not about a guy being controlling. It's not about him feeling insecure. It's about allowing him to live out how he has been made. All right, I hope this has been helpful. If you have any comments, please leave them below and go ahead and click the subscribe button so that you can hear from me whenever I put up a new video. All right, see you next time.